IC Housing fundamentally. Ashish, do you agree that stock did make that recent high actually of 1490 odd, but it's eased off quite a bit from there, right? This is just a short-term blip, like you said?
Yes, I believe that this is a small correction. Very good performance by this counter in the last 1.5 year. The stock has given a price move of 1300 rupees from a level of 200 to 1490, approximately 1500, and still it is clocking higher tops and higher bottoms. Though the stock has corrected from 1500 level to a 1300, this correction would be good for this stock. There will not be a downtrend till the time it forms a trend reversal price pattern on the chart. Good support is exists at 1170, and the supply potential is at around 1490. So I recommend to hold with a strict stop loss of 1150 on weekly closing basis.
Okay, let's bring in our next caller now. We have with us Mr. Gyaneshwar, who's joining us from Kolkata. Mr. Gyaneshwar, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Profit. What's your question?
Yeah, good afternoon. I bought Punjaloid at 280. Okay, I bought 35 shares, but it is currently it is to 120 or 130. Can I hold it or can I set it up for loss?
Since how long have you been holding on to this stock?
Sorry?
Since how long have you been holding on to Punjaloid?
I mean, it's more than 6 months.
More than 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, 280. Let's pull up the price chart.
No, I bought it May 2009.
Okay,
It's
so
more
that's
than a year, I believe.
right. That's more than a year or so, because the stock has been languishing at the sub 100 levels for a long. Has started moving up, but I think the recent disappointment on the numbers is again a negative trigger for the stock. Vijay, Punjaloid, again disappointment continues. I think third or fourth straight quarter we haven't really seen anything on the earnings front. The investor's been holding on for more than a year now. What would be your strategy?
Punjaloid at one point of time was the darling of the market, and we saw a huge momentum on this counter. Well, definitely the way the stock has been performing in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, it has been really very disheartening. And the kind of numbers it has been posting, there have been losses all across. I see a clear case wherein the company is not able to deliver as far as the execution of the projects is concerned. Although they have a very good, healthy pipeline, but in spite of the pipeline, they were not able to execute. We've seen some lining, some silver lining lately, wherein the Libya project has started giving in revenues. But I still see it's a long way to go. If the investor wants to cling on to the stock, I believe that it has to be with at least 18 month to 24-month perspective. Otherwise, there are better counters to be in. So if you can hold on for such a long time, that's fine. You might see your price coming in, but as of now, if you cannot get into a better counter, you can make money there.
Ashish, Punjaloid, what would be your advice to the investor?
Yes, Ashu. No expectations from this counter. It is clocking lower tops and lower bottoms since last 1 year. Bulls have tried to resist bears at 142 level, but they failed. We do not have trend reversal price pattern on the chart. So this indicates that bulls are not at all interested in this counter in those days. EMAs are in negative direction consistently. One of the shadow indicator has given a sell signal as well. And as we do not have a clarity when the positive momentum will come in this stock, better way to exit, invest in the other stock which is clocking higher tops and higher bottoms, instead of just waiting for recovering the losses from the same stock. So I recommend to exit from this counter.
Well, that's a clear sell coming in on Punjaloid. Moving on from one underperformer to another one, actually. This one's Suzlon. We've got an SMS from Mangesh Shelke, who writes in from Mumbai, owns 340 stocks of Suzlon. Ashish, I'm assuming that's a similar call as compared to Punjaloid, or do you have a contrarian one on this one?
Yes, I have a contradictory view over here. Since June 2009, the stock was clocking lower tops and lower bottoms, and it came down to 45 level from a level of 145. But at current juncture, I can see the light at the end of tunnel. Yes, the price is in the making of trend reversal price pattern. If we get a breakout of this price pattern with volumes, then we'll have a good rally in near future. The stock is enjoying a very good support level at 52, and it has tested 60 mark multiple times. So close above 60, 65 with huge volumes would confirm me the change in trend, and the bulls will direct the price in north. And the target would be 75 on the lower side in very short time. So I recommend to hold with a strict stop loss of 50.
Well, hold that with a strict stop loss of 50 rupees is the call coming in on Suzlon. Vijay, any hope for this one? I mean, 5 quarters, or rather, I'd say 6 quarters of the losses, 5 quarters of declining sales. Global picture still not looking good for the company. What is the story here, or what is the reason to actually hold on to it if you've got a hold on this one?
Well, fundamentally speaking, there's a lot of problems still existing in this counter. Although their Indian franchise has been doing reasonably well, internationally this company has been, well, really battered. Their acquisition of RE Power has not paid off at all. They've been doing losses all across, and you see on a quarter-on-quarter basis and on a year-on-year basis they've been making losses. Although they have a huge, good, decent pipeline, but with these kinds of losses and these kinds of debt on the books, I believe there is a very difficult case wherein a company can really stand up and perform, and the markets can actually complement its growth. So I believe there are better counters to get into. You can once sell and get into a better counter. Maybe that in the trend you see a couple of rupees here or there. Maybe that the investor has actually bought at around say 62, 63 rupees. You can see that price, but in the long term, with the long term perspective, I really don't see fundamentally why this stock should go up.
Okay, so that's the call as far as Suzlon is concerned. Gentlemen, we've run out of time, but before wrapping this up, I'm just going to take your picks for the next Samvat. Vijay, what are your Diwali picks this time?
Well, I am very bullish on HCC and GAIL. These are two counters which I think can be decent counters to be in. Ashu.
Ashish, your Diwali stock picks, what would you go with this time for the next Samvat?
Yes, Diwali tips, for Diwali pick or tip for all the investor is you should understand what the market is first. They should understand which stock I should pick. They should have the knowledge. So I request each and every investor of India that gather knowledge first and then invest in the stock. And about the disclaimer, I do not hold any stock which we have discussed in this show. Thank you.
Well, those are the tips and the advice coming in for the new year. Well, thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us. And of course, happy Diwali and a prosperous year ahead. And we shall see you next week.
Well, that's a wrap of the show. But stay with us. Lots more coming up next on Profit.